TC Coasters adds a new type of rails to train cards. Instead of movement from block to block, the trains move on flexible wires of track, from node to node. But first, selecting. To select a node, click on it with an empty hand. Click away to deselect. Select all nodes, double-click. Hold down the sneak button to multi-select, or to toggle individual nodes. Combine this with double-click and you can select ranges of nodes. Now let's get started. Use /tcc_give to get a track editor item. While holding this item you can control the coaster tracks. When first opening it will be in the disabled mode, not showing anything. Use strafing controls to navigate the menu. Select the create mode and switch the map to your other hand. Now you can freely move around. Point where you want to create a new piece of track and right click. This creates a new node, in this case the exit point of a minecart track. This can be repeated on other locations, each time connecting the node to the previously selected node. This way a little track can be created. Created nodes point away from the surface being clicked, effectively changing the orientation of the train. It is not possible to interact with the world in this mode, so make sure to select an item in your now empty hand. A train is spawned and drives over or created track along the nodes. This mode can also be used to connect two nodes together. You do this by right-clicking on a node to extrude a node from it. Then you drag and drop it onto the other node, which connects the two. Next, let's switch to position mode. In this mode you can reposition selected nodes. Right-click and hold the node, then move and look around to change the position. The position is limited by this wooden block. This behavior can be disabled by sneaking. Multiple nodes can be moved at once. Simply select both and move around. While moving nodes around, they can be snapped into position. This is useful for connecting to other types of track. In a similar way, two nodes can be merged together to remove the connection between them. The align buttons position nodes at exact block positions. This makes it easier to make trains go in a straight line on top of all the blocks. Next up is the orientation menu. The orientation changes in what direction the minecart points up. Effectively, it is the roll around the rails. By right-clicking the tip and dragging, you can change the rotation of a node. All of this works very similar to the banking property in train cards, except you have more control over the exact orientation of a train on the track. If more control is desired, you can use /tcc_rotate. You can specify an angle to rotate at, or up, down, northeast, southwest to set an exact orientation. In the next menu you can change the rails block. Train cards looks at the rails block for signs to trigger. Signs at or below this marked block are executed by train cards. In this case I'm placing down a station sign. Now when the train enters this area of track, it triggers this sign. This menu becomes useful if you want to put this sign elsewhere. Right now it's in an ugly position, right at the track. Let's build this sign elsewhere, out of sight from the track itself. Now select the node we previously had this sign at, and right-click on the wooden block this sign is attached to. This changes the rails block to this new block. Now we can have a station sign without actually seeing it. This is especially useful if you have track without blocks below it. You can use the menu to reset and change the block back to where the node is at. In addition, you can reposition this block with the X, Y, and Z coordinates. Finally, the simplest menu of them all, the delete track menu. You can use this to delete nodes. It doubles as a way to disconnect two selected nodes. It may happen that you accidentally screw up, for example, deleting your entire coaster. To fix your mistakes, use /tcc_undo. This undoes your last changes. This works in other menus as well, so if you made a lot of changes that you are not happy about, simply use undo. If you did one undo too many, simply use tcc_redo, and those changes will be applied again. A nifty feature that may be useful to you are junctions. When more than 2 nodes are connected to one node, it creates a junction. The hash shows what switchable positions are currently active. In this case, that's position 1 and 2, or red and green. By left-clicking on the labels, this can be changed. Now the train will move from red to blue, or 1 and 3. When entering a junction from a non-selected direction, the train will take the most straight path, in this case from blue to red. Now when the train reverses, it will take the selected route instead. The switching of the junction can be automated using a switcher sign. Put the name of the junction to switch in front of the statement for that junction. In this case, it goes to 2 when the train is empty, and 3 otherwise. Now let's give this a try. Spawn an empty train and you can see it's indeed going towards 2. Now when you spawn it and you go inside, it's no longer empty, so it goes to the right, on number 3. And that is the end of this video. I hope you have learned something new and have many new ideas for your own coasters. If you have any questions or have a bug to report, you are always welcome on our Discord server.